Shit's a fucking mess here. Just trying to find that. Whew. Before I get with y'all, just give me 1 second here. Just need to delete. Nope. Sorry, I had a misfire with the recording here, so I had to delete that shit. So, but yeah, all right. So, yes, the topic of tonight is a little, I don't know, provocative. It's just a little real. And I was hanging out with one of my trans amorous brothers tonight. And, we just got to rapping. And I really wish we kind of recorded that whole fucking thing because it was a dope ass conversation. But, this is a conversation that is just long over fucking due at this point. Which is, it has a lot to do with, toxic masculinity being reinforced by some, by women. And for the trans amorous male, a lot of times that shit comes into play. In the form of, ooh, I'll take that. Thank you for the extra money. This is like money that's worth real money. I don't know. But anywho, it's just like, for the trans amorous male, when it comes to toxic masculinity being reinforced by women, a lot of times that looks like, man, if you're not living up to these hyper masculine ideals, then you're not really a man and you're just a weird ass nigga. You're just a weird ass man. Like if you're not that dude that's hyper masculine, that doesn't like to touch my penis, doesn't like to look at my penis, doesn't like butt stuff, whatever. If you are this, hyper, well, I'm a man, this, and this. If you're not that shit, then you're not really a man. And, there's quite a few women that give men the experience that, you're not valid as a man if you like that shit. And, there's a lot of guys who are trans amorous, trans attracted, whatever else, that are like, I like pleasuring my mate orally. I like doing this, and this. But the shame that's passed down to me from women that make me less of a good candidate, I guess, in a way. It keeps men from being free to express themselves. It's like, it's kind of weird because it's like a lot of times guys are freeing themselves of society's shackles, but for whatever reason, pretty much because of dysphoria, we are encountering brand new, we leave society's shackles and we get new shackles from rules and regulations passed down by trans women, where it's like, all right, nigga, well, you can't like this too much because that's gay, and I deem that as gay, and that makes me feel like less of a woman, so you shouldn't want that. And in a way, it kind of makes a woman's dysphoria our dysphoria, which is definitely trash and not something that I don't fucks with and don't accept. But it's something that guys are like, oh dang, okay, well, I'm messing up if I like this, then I don't want to be seen as this, because they're gonna place the shame and guilt and insults on me if I like giving my girl oral too much. If I really enjoy that part of her body, now I'm a problem, so I better avoid that shit and duck and dodge. And it's just the shame and the guilt around all that shit that women place on us that has a whole lot to do with what's happening on the inside for them. It's kind of whack. And it's just like, you're just like society is saying, well, to be a man you have to do this, and this, and you can't do this, you can't fuck with trans women, you can't do that, you have to dress this kind of way, you got to act this kind of way. In a lot of ways, we get women in the trans community putting that shit on us, saying you have to act this way, you have to be this kind of man, or else you're not valid as a man in my space, because a man in my space likes this. A man in my space don't like sucking dick. A man in my space don't like eating ass or doing any of that shit that might be considered gay. I want a real straight man. And you listen to the conversation that people have, and it's just like, You know, when women are talking about men, yeah, I like straight men, not those trans amorous men. Those like we're separating straight and trans amorous at this point, which is absolutely ridiculous because, you know, first off, clinging to the ideal of straight is a whole fucking problem anyways, because it's like this whole fucking like nebulous idea of what it is to be a straight man is not something that, you know, we shouldn't even be worried about. We should be worried about being ourselves authentically and being free, not trying to live up to some bullshit standard cooked up in somebody else's mind of a fantasy of what a man is instead of what a man really is, which is, you know, somebody who is true to himself, doesn't, you know, bow down to pressure from society, somebody who's living free, you know, somebody who's leading the way, who's a leader, who's bold, you know. And I get that's not the only brand of man out there, period. There's lots of different ways to be a man. But what I am saying is, the reason why I titled the video the way I did is because, you know, in a way, a lot of guys feel like women are, a lot of guys feel like, yo, I have done the work. I accept myself as a man who who engages in relationships, sexual encounters with transgender women, and I don't feel like any less of a man for doing it. And then, you know, we feel like, okay, I'm free. I'm free, world. I'm free. I'm doing myself. I'm not doing myself. I'm doing my thing. I'm being myself. Sorry, I'm a little hammered right now. But, you know, doing my thing, being myself. I'm free. And then all of a sudden, you know, women come down with these rules and regulations for what it means to be a man. And it's just like, yo, that ain't it. And actually, I don't have to be all these things. And I'm just as valid if I don't do these things. You know, so it's like, I'm valid if I like this. I'm valid if I don't like that. Like, I don't have to do whatever the fuck. And it's just like, I don't know, it's just really weird how we end up in this space of, you know, control, so to speak, where we're just, or not control, but like confinement, where we're just being placed in a box. And, you know, all right, well, nigga, if you like this, and when I say nigga, I'm just talking about men, like, all right, man, if you like this, then you're a problem. You're a fetishizer. You're a this. You're not a real man. I don't like men that aren't manly men, and blah, blah, blah. Well, okay, well, I'm not a manly man if I enjoy giving my girl oral. Like, that's kind of just ridiculous. So, you know, or if I have a lot of experience with trans women, that doesn't make me not straight. Because I've you know, also heard, well, you know, I like a man, I like a real straight man. A real straight man has never had experience with trans women, and I'm his first. Okay, what? It's I'm sorry. There's just a lot of complexes, a lot of fucked upness happening, and it's just like, yo, we got men, we got out of society's bullshit, we got out of society's boxes, and then, you know, for a lot of guys, we feel like we felt free, and then we ran right into more confinement from women who feel the need to be validated in a certain way that, you know, it's like, yo, I'm just trying to be free. I'm not trying to validate you. I'm just trying to be free and enjoy myself and live my fucking life, you know? So I don't know, I just feel like we're just in a certain situation where just, like, again, we're running into confinement control, and it's just like, it isn't men upholding this ridiculously stupid, toxic standard of what it is to be a man. A lot of times it's trans women doing that shit. And, you know, some guys, in order to, you know, they'll just, in order to adapt to survive in this space and be seen as valid in this space, will try to uphold and be that toxic version of a man just to appease women so that they can get, you know, not get sex, but just be seen as valid, get space, get time, be valued, whatever. So it's just a whole lot of shit. And, you know, I get guys every now and again, it's like, man, you know, I'm an orally faceted dude. I love pleasing my mate, X, Y, and Z, whatever the fuck. But, you know, I can't really show that too much because it's been made clear to me that women view that as me being lesser of a man, and, you know, real straight men like this. And It's just like, but what? Like real straight men like pleasing their woman, whatever it takes, whatever it takes, you know. So it's just, you know, associating certain acts, certain sexual positions, whatever, with, you know, certain behavior, you know, certain personalities, and it's just like, it's just weird. It's not, it's weird, but it's also oppressive. And I feel like, you know, I always say this in a lot of my conversations when it comes to the black community. You know, one of the favorite pastimes of oppressed communities is oppressing others. You know, holding them down under their thumb, trying to control them, make them feel a certain way, make them act a certain way, make them be a certain way to appease them, and make themselves, you know, make other people feel like shit for being themselves. Like, it's oppressive. And I know that's like, you know, not the most PC thing in the world. Not PC, but, you know, that's not what people want to hear. And I already know, look, my whole brand is me just saying shit how I see it. I don't really, you know, amend all of my shit just to please people. I will check my words just to make sure that I'm understood clearly. But, you know, it kind of is oppressive behavior. And it's kind of trash. And I wish a lot of girls that aren't on that shit was checking more girls that are on that bullshit, which are trying to tell men that they're not really men if they do this and if they do that and whatever else. And all of these rules and regulations are put in place to protect your dysphoria, to keep your fragile mental state, like, safe. And I find that to just be bullshit. Like, there are women that don't rock with that know better. And I would love, you know, a little bit of, you know, calling your sister out. Like, I'm happy on my podcast to be like, yo, most of these niggas out here ain't shit. Most of the men out here ain't shit. There's a lot of dudes that's gaming women, you know, fucking with their feelings, all that other shit, being dishonest, whatever else, you know, being closeted, making women feel like crap and unworthy. And it's trash that men do that so willingly, especially with the trans community, a group of individuals that deserve to be treated right. But I'm willing to call my guys out, and I wish that there were other girls that's willing to call that shit out, and not to let this shit like exist in a way where women are, you know, using their dysphoria to control men. Because a lot of these guys that are coming into this space, they're doing it in goodwill, in earnest. They want to be allies. They want to not be a part of the problem. But not being a part of the problem doesn't mean that you have to amend what you are sexually attracted to fit somebody else's dysphoria. Like, that's bullshit. Absolutely should not be happening. But I feel like that happens so often, and it's just not checked. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody confronts it. And when, you know, guys like myself do speak up and say something, it's like, oh, well, you're just invalidating trans, whatever victimhood bullshit statement people want to throw out there just to make their bullshit seem okay. You know, they just throw it out there. So it's just like, I don't know. Crashing the Jeep limo. But anywho, it's just a whole fucking thing, y'all. And I'm just like, yo, at some point we gotta change the narrative. We gotta change how we deal with shit. And, you know, we gotta deal with shit in a way where it's just like there's room for people to be free and be themselves and like what they like. And, you know, there's no policing of other people's sexuality. Because at the end of the day, you know, I'm gonna just be real. Trans attracted, whatever else, like, it's the same as any other letter on the fucking alphabet, except for T, of course. But, you know, L, G, and B are all just sexual identities. That whole thing has everything to do with just who you're fucking. It isn't like people are transforming their lives. It's, oh, well, you're this because this is who you're fucking. Trans, I get, is completely different because you are changing your entire life and who you are and what you are. All that shit changes. I get that. But, you know, on the other tip, it's just like, you know, you like what you like. And what men who are attracted to trans women like, you know, what we like, what I like, is considered unconventional and unacceptable to, you know, mainstream society. Which is why, you know, you get a certain identifier, which is for me, for us, trans amorous, trans attracted, whatever else, that's why that shit's needed, because what I like and how I live and who I love is not accepted by society. So I'm doing this thing to be free, but then I feel like I'm being jailed by other people's bullshit standards and practices when it comes to what makes them feel good. When it ain't about your feel good, it's about me feeling good about myself, feeling confident in myself, and accepting myself as a man who dates trans women. So, I appreciate everybody watching this. I see we got some live viewers on, but I'm just kind of ranting tonight because I had a really good conversation, and I talk to guys all the time, and it's just like, I just wish things weren't a certain way. And I get how women end up with dysphoria and whatever else, but it's also about just how you move with that on your back and how you handle it. And I get everybody says hurt people and all that other stuff, and like I say, oppressed people love oppressing other people, but it's just like, that's just an explanation for what's happening. That doesn't make it right. It doesn't validate it. So yeah, that's just me talking shit, y'all. I'm just sitting here keeping it real, allegedly, just talking shit, and just speaking my truth tonight. I'm just kind of letting it all out, but this whole channel is built to kind of get men. This whole channel is built to get men thinking, to get them confident in themselves, get them to not be victim to certain bullshit thought processes that might limit us. And it's really all about men being free. This whole channel is about men being free, and me focusing on men doesn't make me popular. It doesn't make this channel popular. So I get if there are women listening to this that just don't fuck with it, don't understand it, whatever else. I totally understand that. So it is what it is. I just have to be truthful and tell my truth as I see it. So sorry that it takes so long explaining why this is the way it is and the way that I'm presenting, but it's just like, these are truths that aren't told on the internet. Nobody's talking like this, and we just got to be honest. Men need to speak up and be honest about what we're experiencing, and we also need to be free to call certain bullshit out. Like, I totally understand women calling out the bullshit actions of men, especially in the way that they navigate their trans attraction and piss women off. Not piss women off, but just treat them horribly and all that stuff. I totally get it all. I get it. So I'm just trying to, I guess, I don't know, tell my truth. So with that, I'm gonna just let it go, y'all. Fellas, I support y'all. I'm here for y'all all day. Please email the show. Hit that menlikeuspodcast@gmail.com. Where the fuck am I supposed to go? I don't understand this question. But yeah, hit that email address if y'all just need somebody to reach out to. Just let me know, because I'm here for you fellas. I'm here to support. And ladies, obviously, if you have criticisms, concerns, comments, I'm here to listen and take that in and make sure that you feel heard in those criticisms and concerns. So with that, I will cut all of this shit off, and I will see y'all another day. Just had to kind of get this shit out. So this shit may or may not stay on the channel, but those of you that are watching this live, I guess you were witness to something tonight. So thanks for watching, and I will catch all of y'all later.